Hello, this is Steve, and I want to show you several helpful reports inside of Google Analytics. So once you're logged in, if it doesn't take you to the audience overview already, just come over here to the side, expand audience, and then click on overview. And this is where you get to see, about how many people come to visit your website in a given time period. To make sure your time period is the one you want to have set, just come up here to this and choose your time period. If you drop down the date range, you can go to like last month or last 30 days, or you can just pick, so many days like that. Press apply, and then you can see. And if this chart might be more helpful if you change it to be plotted by week or month, it kind of smooths out, what the traffic looks like. So sessions is the main metric that Google Analytics use. A session is like when I come here and I spend some time on the site, and that could be, I could have a session in the morning, I could have a session in the evening, but Google tries to combine things into sessions rather than like visits, because a visit, you could have a bunch of visits that are really just part of the same session. And then it tells you how many users you have. So, some users could come back multiple times, and that's why sessions is almost always bigger than users. Here you have how many pages were actually viewed. So this counts, every time someone reloads the page or loads a page. So that brings us to this number of, per session, we have about almost, people on average look at almost 3 pages per session. The average session duration is about 3 minutes. A bounce rate, that is when somebody comes to your site and if they just come into one of the pages but they don't click on anything in your site and they just click the back button, that's bouncing out. And when people bounce out, it means that it's not the site they were looking for. They, for whatever reason, it's not the web page for them, and they were bouncing back out to Google or wherever they came from. So 50% is actually pretty normal. That's just how it is. There's a lot of people out on the internet looking for a lot of different things, and they bump into your site and stuff like that. So 50% is pretty normal. Okay, let me show you the next report. And there's tons of reports in here, but I'm going to kind of pick out the ones that seem to be most helpful. Let's go down to acquisition, and then go to all traffic, and then go to channels. This tells you where people come in at. So they call these different types of sources they come from channels. Organic search, that would be like your regular Google listings or your regular Bing listings. Listings you don't pay for to be there. Direct, it really means that Google doesn't know how they got to your site, so it assumes that they typed in the address into their browser manually. But according to what I've found and read, when people have done tests on this, they find out that a lot of times half of this number could just be people from search engines that Google just couldn't detect at the time. Referral, that means coming from another website. And social means that people came from, Facebook or Twitter or something like that. So you could look at these numbers a little bit more deeply and see, it's interesting because people that come from social are almost always more fickle. So you have a higher bounce rate here than people that come in from organic search. And you can see too, the people from organic search look around more. People that come in directly, for those that do type in your address, look around even more, and then social is the lowest on there. Social also has the lowest amount of time they're on your site. So social traffic's pretty fickle. But anyways, you can check out some of that stuff. I want to take you to this other section now. Let's go under behavior, and then site content, and then all pages. And this shows you where people come into the website at. So down here we can see the most popular pages. Here's the home page, the contact page, the about page, the what we do page, and you can see how many times people look at each one of those pages. So if there's a page that's really important to you that's not up here towards the top of this list, then maybe there's something that should be done to, make that content or a link or a button or a call to action for that content stand out more or something like that. But this can give you insights into what people are paying attention to most on your website. Okay, well that's all for this video on that. There's tons of other reports in here, but those few things are probably some of the most helpful for just getting an idea as to what's going on. Thank you very much.